Guys, fringe benefits, very, very common in an exam. I've chosen to record this separately and leave the video up separately. It's only going to be about a 10-minute video, just simply because it gets asked so much in exams. And I just find that there's one thing that you want to come and just have a look at a quick video of later, it would be this section. So first things first, what you need to write down on this diagram is, whenever you're doing a fringe benefits question, you need to do the input and you need to do the output. So I did a question with you last week, which has got the unseen video, and you saw that most of you only did half of the transaction. So what you need to do is you need to do both sides of the transaction if you're doing that. And maybe just make a little bit of a cross-reference to fringe benefits on your page. Say, go look at the VAT unseen example that was done in week 1, just to make sure that you understand how to approach answering a question. Are you guys comfortable with that? Second thing, guys, often it's not actually a sale with this one, it's actually a supply. So what is VAT levied on? Supply of goods or services. So you're actually supplying a good or a service to your employee with a fringe benefit. Does everybody understand that? Now, this one didn't pop up in your undergraduate exams very much because Tax 3701 and Tax 3702 were separate. And you only did the rules for fringe benefits in the Tax 3702 paper, but the VAT was in Tax 3701. And the way that fringe benefits are valued is the same way that you do it for Tax 3702. So they couldn't really ask VAT on fringe benefits in undergrad. Is that all right? Because they were actually in different papers. The way you calculated it was in a different paper too, the VAT paper. So let's just have a look. No VAT on these fringe benefits. So travel allowance, why is there no VAT? Supply of money. Entertainment allowance? Supply of money. Subsistence allowance? Supply of money. Low interest loan? It's a financial service. You give someone a loan, it's a financial service. Financial services are exempt. Housing subsidy? A housing subsidies, I give you cash for your bond. What happens if you give cash for your bond? Supply of money. It's exempt. Guys, payments of an employee's debt? No. Payments of an employee's debt? Tax invoice is not in your name. That's why you can't claim it. Does that make sense? Okay, meals? Entertainment. So, no VAT. Residential accommodation? Exempt. It's residential accommodation. Share option games, what happens with shares? Shares are financial services. So loans and shares are financial services. Holiday accommodation, entertainment, medical aid contribution. No, it's actually a financial service, medical aid. It's defined as a financial service. So you see any of those guys, and you give that to any of your employees, there's no VAT. These, there's VAT on. So let's just go through. Give an asset to an employee, VAT, that's fine. 2, give a service to an employee. I'm giving something, a supply of goods or services to an employee, VAT. Give a company car to an employee, VAT. Okay, and I've got their time of supplies when fringe benefit is recorded for the employee, i.e. your payslip. So whatever month your payslip is generated in. Guys comfortable with that? So general rule. Give an asset to an employee, what's the rule? Trading stock is the lower of cost or market value. If you bought it to give to the employee, it's cost. And other, it's market value. Are you guys comfortable? Is that all right? I'm going to do some examples now. And then for motor cars, what do you do? 0.3% times cost X VAT. Now, guys, that might be times 100 over 114. It could be times by 100 over 115. It depends on when the asset was bought. Are you guys comfortable? So it's the cost X VAT. Minus 85 Rand if the employee pays maintenance. And guys, it's minus any other cost that the employee pays for that's VATable. So what happens if there's fuel paid for? You're not going to minus anything off. What happens if there's insurance paid for? Minus 300 Rand for insurance if there's insurance. Are you guys comfortable with that? If it's interest, nothing taken off because it's exempt. Does everybody understand? But I'm going to do examples now. Guys comfortable? And then if it's not a motor car, substitute 0.3% with 0.6%. So they love giving motorbikes in exams. It's not a car, it's 0.6%. A bakkie, why would you claim 0.6 on a bakkie? It's not a motor car, you claimed input VAT on it. Are you guys comfortable with that? The one thing that's quite tricky in the exam is a motor car can be 0.6 if it's a motor dealer. Remember, if you give a car to one of your motor car salesman to drive, if you're a car dealership, you claim VAT on the car and it would be 0.6, huh? Even though it's a motor car. First, you get to claim VAT if you're a motor car dealer. So 0.6 whenever you claim VAT, 0.3 if you don't claim VAT. Is that all right? Okay, let's go back to the illustrations. There are lots of them. Okay. So it says A Limited gave his top sales employee a free trip to the US and the plane ticket cost $8,000. What are the VAT implications, guys? An overseas air trip zero rated. So what's going to happen with the fringe benefit? Zero rated. I'd like you to write some stuff now. Now, I just want to point out some stuff to you, guys. Please don't say that there's no VAT on that. There is. Because an overseas air trip is VATable. Does everybody understand that? So basically, when you answer a question, you're going to have to do both sides. You're going to say, when we buy the air ticket, no input VAT is claimed because it's zero rated. And then when you supply it, what is the value of supply? 0. And 0 times 15% is 0. Please don't say that there's no VAT. If you say that there's no VAT, you're not going to get any marks. There is VAT. It just happens to be zero rated. Is that okay? And that's a very big mistake in exams. Illustration 21.2. It says A Limited bought a table for their canteen 3 years ago. No input VAT was claimed on the table as it was used for staff in the canteen. This was considered to be a provision of entertainment to staff members. A Limited given employee a table which was worth $570. What are the VAT implications? And the normal rules are going to apply. If we were denied input VAT when we got it, what's going to happen when we give it to the employee? There's no output VAT charged. It's not zero rated, no output VAT is charged. Input VAT was denied, therefore output VAT is not charged. Are you guys comfortable with that? 21.3. It says, 1. Trading stock with a cost of 10 and a market value of 12 was sold to an employee for 7. So what are you going to do with that? So it's lower of cost or market value. So what are you going to do, guys? Sold for 7, lower of cost 10, market value 12. 10 minus the 7 that was paid for it. How much is the fringe benefit? 3 times 15 over 115. 391. Guys, comfortable? Okay, it says a gold watch is bought specifically to give to an employee after 25 years of service to the company. This was the first long service award received by the employee. The watch cost $17,000 6 months ago and was worth $18,200 on the date it was given to the employee. What's the rule if you buy something specifically to give to an employee? It's cost. You see on the page that you've got the summary there. And guys, if it's a long service award, 15 years or more, minus 5. So for bravery awards, minus 5. For long service, minus 5. So you only pay VAT on what's on the pay slip because you get to take the 5,000 Rand off the pay slip. You get to charge VAT on the lower amount. Is that okay? Next one. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's fine. If you're buying it specifically to give as a long service award, it's cost. Yeah. Guys, second-hand furniture is given to an employee as a bonus. The furniture cost 30 originally and was worth 10,000 the date it was given to him. The asset is neither trading stock nor was it acquired specifically to give to the employee. What's the rule if it's other? Market value times 15 over 115. And remember, it's always the market value including that, eh? Because we're doing times 15 over 115. Are you guys comfortable with that? Okay. Next one. Okay. I didn't put it on the other page, but I've just summarized for you here. This is the rule for services. Now, guys, you need to know what the income tax implications are, otherwise you can't value your fringe benefit properly. Does everybody understand that? So, guys, so it says valuation of fringe benefit giving use of an asset to an employee. So first one, no fringe benefit for assets used primarily for business use during working hours, even with after hours incidental private use. So your boss gives you a computer to use. During the day, you use the computer for work. At night, you are an internet porn star and you use the computer to download porn. Guys, business use, therefore, any nighttime use is incidental. We don't count it. Does everybody understand? It's a no fringe benefit. Please don't say that there's no fringe benefit. It's really important you say no fringe benefit. Guys? So that'll be a 0. And 0 times 15 over 115 is 0. Okay. And it's not on your pay slip because it's a 0. Yeah. It's fine. If you're required to use the computer during your working time, anything else will be incidental. Okay. Next one. Leased assets given for private purposes have a fringe benefit equal to the lease rental paid. Are you guys comfortable with that? So if they give you an asset that they're leasing, it's whatever they pay on the lease is the amount of the fringe benefit. Then, guys, owned assets given for a private purpose have a fringe benefit equal to lower of cost or market value times 15% times number of months used. So 8 over 12 or 1 over 12. If they give you 2 weeks, you say times 2 over 52. And then, guys, cost of a service given to an employee is the amount that gets paid. So if they look at me and they say, shit, your hair is disgusting, you need a shave, I'm sending you down to the hairdresser down there. That is the service. Are you guys comfortable? By the way, anything that's performed at your place of work is given a no fringe benefit. Are you guys aware of that? So if they say you 210s, I'm organizing a prostitute for you to sleep with. If she comes to your office, there won't be a fringe benefit. If you have to go to her, there will be a fringe benefit. Okay. That's why you have sick room at work. No, I'm joking. Okay. So, okay. So just let's make sure you know how these work. So it says a computer is given to an employee for use during business hours. The employee uses the computer for personal purposes after business hours. The computer costs 10. Fringe benefit 0 times 15 over 115 gives you 0. Next one, a printer is given to a staff member to use at home after hours for private use. The employee rarely prints anything out for work purposes on this printer. It's leased for 200 Rand a month. If it's leased and then it's given to you, it's the amount of the lease payment 200 times 15 over 115. Next one, the company gave an employee use of workshop tools to fix his house for 2 months. The tools cost 20 and open market value of 12. So lower of cost to market value, 12 times 15% times 2 over 12 for months times 15 over 115. Happy. And then the managing director, the company pays 1,200 for an employee to go to the spa for a day as a reward for hard work put in. 1,200 goes in times 15 over 115. And then, guys, the managing director is given a 2-year-old computer printer with a market value of 2280 and a cost of 7. The printer was used in the accounting department and only 80% of the VAT input was claimed when the computer was acquired. Guys, if you only claimed 80% when you got it, you're only going to charge output of 80% when you use it as a fringe benefit. Now, guys, I'm going to go on to another section immediately after this, and I'm going to show you. For fringe benefits, you're allowed to do percentage of outputs. There are only 2 times when you can reduce an output from 100%. That is insurance claims and fringe benefits. Every other time you need to charge 100% output VAT, but I haven't done it yet, but I will do it in about 15 minutes. Okay, so this one, that's why it says times 80%. You guys comfortable with that? I'll show you now. Next, guys. Hmm? No, I'm going to show you now. I'll do it now. Guys, general for employees, guys, all of these here are exempt ones. So subsistence allowance, low interest loan subsidy, paying of monthly telephone accounts as he's required to make business calls from home, lunch in the canteen, those are all the ones I did originally. Is that okay? So for none of those, there's any of that. Let's get on to cars now. Oh, this one. This one's quite difficult. So it says an enterprise provides the following to a sales manager: house to stay in. So how much is that going to be? Nothing, because it's residential accommodation. Interest-free loan? Nothing, because it's financial service. Asset given to an employee for 11,400. The employee paid 10,000. How much is that? 1,400. Okay. Sorry. 1,400 is the amount, yeah. Yes. Motor car use, fringe benefits. Value in terms of the act was 880, so that gives you 2280. Times 15 over 115 gives you 297. And look what it says. It says the sales manager spends 90% of his time with taxable supplies and 10% of his time with exempt supplies. So what happens if they tell you that? Do you charge VAT on everything, or is 10% an exempt supply and 90% a VATable supply? Do you understand the VAT is 90%, and that's why we've only got 267 in there. So if there's a fringe benefit and the employee works part VAT, part not VAT, you only account for the output VAT on the part that they work for a VATable supply. Now guys, in an exam, this would be the managing director normally. So in an exam, what they normally do is they say, the managing director is given a car. But right up at the front of the question, they'll say, it's 30% exempt and 70% VATable. What does a managing director do? Everything. And if the company's 30/70, what do you need to do with his fringe benefit? 30/70. Are you guys comfortable with that? Does that make sense? Okay. So look for a managing director in a question, or look for a financial director. Those are dead giveaways that if there's apportionment of that, you need to apportion the fringe benefit. And most times in exams, people forget to do the apportionment. And they don't need to tell you. The managing director does both, so does a financial director. Okay, you'll see it in your TUT. Guys, that one's easy. I'm interested in this one. Motor vehicle fringe benefit. It says a limited purchase is a motor vehicle, which is a motor car for 102,600, including 12,600 VAT. Cost ex VAT is 90, huh? A limited is not entitled to claim an input VAT. An employee is granted the right of use of the motor car, and the vendor bears the full cost of maintaining the car. Okay, so what are we going to do in the solution? We're going to say 102,600 times 100 over 115 times 0.3%. Guys, comfortable? Times 15 over 115 times 2 months. Guys, comfortable? Going back to the example. It says an employee is granted use to the motor car, and the vendor bears the full cost of maintaining the car. The employee is granted the right of use of motor car from 15 November to the current year, a limited over 2-month VAT period. So part B says, how would the solution change if they're obliged to maintain the vehicle? What happens if you maintain the vehicle? Minus 85. Do you guys see that? Is that cool? That's if they do the full cost of maintaining the vehicle. Now guys, back here's a company car, illustration 21.9. The only difference is it becomes 0.6, huh? Because you claim input VAT in the back here. This one is the nastiest one. So I just want you to have a look where I've got the cursor. It says the employee pays fuel of 200 a month, insurance of 300 a month, and is responsible for all maintenance on the car. So guys, fuel is 0 rated, so we're not going to take it into account in our calc. How much is the insurance per month? 300, and who pays it? The employee. Look at the solution. It's 0.3% times 230 times 100 over 115. Oh, sorry, here, sorry. And then just down at the bottom, guys, minus 300 minus 85. We don't take off the fuel because it's zero rated. We don't take off the actual maintenance plate because if you base all maintenance on the car, what's going to happen? Minus 85. Okay? Guys, can you see where the bracket is? You've got to do everything in the bracket first before you times by 15 over 115 and times by 3. Are you guys comfortable with that? Just notice where the bracket is. The other thing is it was given to him 2 years down the line. So what do you do when you calculate fringe benefits? Minus 15% for each completed year that somebody else used it for before you got it. So that's why I've got times 85% times 85% inside the solution. Are you guys comfortable? And then what basically happens is they give the car to someone else in February. And I just want to show you. And in this question, it says that he pays 100 Rand towards maintenance each month. So is he paying all of maintenance or is he paying 100 Rand towards maintenance? He's only paying 100 Rand. So can you see in the solution here for the second one, can you see it says minus 100. So if you pay for all maintenance, it's minus 85. If you pay for something else, it's minus the amount that you paid. Is that all right? And I know that's very technical, but I don't know what they're going to do in an exam. And then the other thing that I've got there is they gave it to him 4 days before the end of February. So what happens if you get a fringe benefits and you've only had it for 4 days in the month? What do? Times 4 over 28, because it's February. And I said in the question it's a 28-day month. Is that all right? So if they give you a fringe benefit for 4 days in a month, times 4 over the number of days in the month. Are you guys comfortable? So this example has got, this is like the bitch troll from hell for cars. This one. If you want to just go through. Are you likely to get it in an exam? Probably not. But if you want to see how they can take you to hell and back for cars, that's the example to look at. Guys, this is normally a 4-mark question in an exam. So I just want to just go through this. It gets asked time after time after time after time, and it's always out of 4 marks. So every decision that you make gets you a mark. So do I use 0.3 or do I use 0.6? 1 mark. Do I take the cost X VAT? 1 mark. Okay. Times 15 over 115, another mark. Times number of months, another mark. And then if they want to start taking with minus 300, minus 85, the extra marks for those as well. Are you guys comfortable? Remember, if you pay for fuel, you don't take it into account in the fringe benefit because fuel is zero rated. Guys comfortable? So this is. And then if it's a managing director and the question told you that it's a managing director and it's an 80-20 split, you'll only times it by the percent that you've got. Are you guys comfortable with that?